Alright, welcome back to another Ergo Benjamin video. Today we're going to be looking at the market as usual. I just started school today, so I'll try to keep the videos coming out pretty frequently, but I don't really understand how the whole YouTube post things work, but I'll figure it out eventually. Moving on, we got some big movement going on in here. Ethereum Classic up 16% today. I don't know what you can amount that to. It is. The problem with Ethereum Classic is it's like that one coin that like nobody expects to do anything, but now it's doing good. And yeah, that something's going on there. Apparently they got NFT projects going on there, all very very cool stuff. Like I said, it's probably just pump, and that's normal for that to happen in the crypto market. So I don't know. It's good that at least something's returning. Phantom also been doing super well. I hold a little bit of Phantom. I didn't actually expect it to take off at all. I've just had it kind of stuck in a wallet, so I'm surprised that it's doing so well. Didn't really see that going to pop off, but it is, so I'm not going to complain. Like I said, the assets you least expect to perform are the ones that are going to perform. I got a lot of faith like in Kadena and like Flux and all these ones, but it doesn't look like it's performing very well. Least likely to perform usually performs. That's just how the crypto market works. It works in a weird way. I don't know. Some coins just perform well because a lot of people get behind them. This coin right here, this new secret coin, Cosmo, blockchain, whatever you want to talk about, I think it's decent. It's cool. A lot of hype. I wouldn't try to buy it now during the bump. It's probably gonna dump just as much, or maybe a little bit below. So yeah. So the main discussion for today really is going to be more of a whiteboard video than anything, because I've seen a lot of the comments on Coin Market Cap just for how do I explain this? Just for like people not understanding why Ergo can't succeed, and I don't understand it really. I see a lot of people saying that like proof of stake too is just like gonna be the new norm, when in reality proof of stake is really like, when you compare the two, they're initially the same looking at them, and by that I mean like they both are going to do the same thing. Like they both add new coins to the overall supply. They just do it in a different way, right? The whole proof of stake side of things basically means that the more you hold, the more you get. So basically, the leverage is like really high bar equals really high returns, right? Really low bar equals really low returns. Like, that's just kind of how I would sum it up, right? So then the proof of work side, you actually got to have, machines running, and like the more machines you have, or the level of hardware that you have, the more coins you're going to get, right? So I just don't understand why people think that simply because proof of work is energy intensive means that it's bad for the environment. That's not always the case. Like, a lot of the Bitcoin mining, it's in a Bitcoin miner's incentive to actually go to solar power, because they actually save money, because once they're on solar power, they don't have to take any money away for like the cost of electricity, right? They're taking all profit. That's all I want is this right here. So, and the next thing is that people say that proof of work is just not scalable. So it's not scalable at all. They say that it can't be done. And, that's kind of the thing with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, if you look at the blocks, a lot of the blocks will get overrun. So you'll end up with like Bitcoin blocks being like 1 megabyte, and it'll be like 1 megabyte blocks, but then the amount of transactions registered was like 1.2. So the 0.2 moves to the next block, and then whatever's added onto that from, those transactions that are submitted during that block, they could actually run over again. So you could be at like 1.5 megabytes. for the Bitcoin block as a whole. And then, yeah, that's just kind of the whole thing, right? So to say that Bitcoin really isn't scalable is probably a more accurate statement, because the block size, just there's not enough data for that many transactions. But Bitcoin also has that assurance like, you know that once the transaction is made, that the transaction is absolutely final. So that's just kind of the deal with that, right? So now that we're looking at this and we're talking about this, what does Kadena bring to the table, right? What does KDA bring to the table? And as a whole, you might think KDA brings nothing, right? They're scalable just like Solana. They've got proof of work different from Solana. Then they got the 250,000 TPS claimable. But then you look at the board's pretty solid. And, there's not a whole lot built on it is the only thing, right? And that's why it's not really crazy price-wise. Like, there'll be people talking about, $100 or $200 Kadena, right? And I just don't see that happening, like, at least in the short term, like this year. It just isn't going to happen. It's not realistic, right? We're going to see inflation, right? And that's normal to see it with any coin. So, Bitcoin even has inflation every year. It's very, very low, but it has inflation every year. But eventually, it's finite. And it's the same thing with Kadena, right? It's going to be finite eventually. So, until we get these DEXs and we get these, these cool things built on it, the DeFi programs, we get other blockchains building stuff on it. So we got, stuff like Secret they built on Cosmos. We could get a similar project like that on Kadena, and that would be all we need. Just like Polkadot, the Polkadot parachain crowd loan auctions, we could get other projects that are built on Kadena. And by the time that this roster fills up entirely, we've got a whole list of projects, probably close to 100 of them, right? So, it's not like there's nothing built on Kadena, because there's a lot built on Kadena, right? And it's all happening very slowly, which for the benefit of the doubt is very good, because, moving fast in the blockchain industry is pretty much make or break. You saw with Ethereum Classic, 51% attack, boom. They just made a new chain, it just ends that fast. So, that's just how it is, right? And then you look at the proof of work side of things, and people say that, well, Solana's proof of stake side of things, and they say, well, Solana's great. It's got all this ecosystem built on top of it. It's got a lot going for it, right? Solana's got, equal, if not more, projects built on top of it as Ethereum, or equal, if not less. So it's just bothering to me that people don't think that, in the whole phrase, like, it's going to pull a Solana, just doesn't really make any sense, right? Because nothing's ever going to pull another Solana. And I've told you guys I don't like Solana. I think it might do well, but I just don't like it. It doesn't perform the way that I think crypto should perform. I think that, if the blockchain ever shuts down even for a second, it's compromised. Your money's in free fall. I don't care what anybody says. It's in free fall. You imagine if Visa or MasterCard actually went down for a little bit? Look at that on a global scale. That would be really, really bad. Like, people would be really PO'd. So that's what I'm saying, right? So until Kadena ever voids that trust somehow, or they ever, like, compromise what they're doing, I just don't see the inherent value with Solana or any other proof-of-stake blockchain that even goes down for even maybe a second, right? If Bitcoin ever misses a block, you can be sure that the price is going to drop like a rock, right? So, yeah. That's just my synopsis. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I don't mean to be harsh on proof of stake. There are some cool proof of stake projects. ADA is one of those, and I don't know. ADA is a complicated coin. You're either in it or you're not in it, and with the market cap as big as it is, it's going to be hard to see substantial gains. So really, I see ADA as like a stock market coin, right? It's going to perform just as well as the stock market. So yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that though. And I'll see you guys in the next video, where we hopefully look more into a more green market here over the 7 day as a whole. Stuff is down a little bit, not as much. Some of it is a lot, but it looks like we're getting some moves made back up. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace out.